solve x times negative 2x plus 3 is equal to negative 1 by using the quadratic formula. In order for us to use the quadratic formula, we need to expand this side as well as bring the 1 over to the same side so that we have 0 on the right-hand side. So I would take x times negative 2, giving me negative 2x squared. X times 3 gives me plus 3x, adding 1 to both sides, so a plus 1, and then that equals 0. Now I can identify that a is equal to negative 2, b is equal to 3, and c is equal to 1. A being the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant term. So now I use the quadratic formula that tells me x is equal to negative b, negative 3, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 3 squared, minus 4 times a, which is negative 2, times c, which is positive 1, and all of that gets divided by 2 times a, which is negative 2. So now let's simplify this. Underneath the radical we have 3 squared, which is 9. Negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8, times 1 is still positive 8. So that's 9 plus 8, which would be 17. So what we have is x equals negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 17 divided by 2 times negative 2, which is negative 4. We could leave our answer that way. However, when we're in this situation, it's best to divide the negative into the negative and the negative into the plus or minus, because then what we get is 3. We still have plus or minus because each one of them changes, so one becomes a plus and one becomes the minus, and in the denominator, it's a positive 4. So the two solutions are 3 plus or minus the square root of 17 divided by 4.